This is Kevin Budke, and you are listening to the Poor Man's Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here at Terry Jones at 565 Live in Bellevue. Producer Cheech behind the boards. Kevin Budke. Yo. You were just saying Kevin's a friend of yours, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love little Kevin. I knew Kevin back when he very first started. He started real young. I started comedy at 18. So I was in my 20s, and he had just came into comedy, and nobody understood him.
Yeah.
Because he was just a young, ambitious kid who had these ideas, and a lot of the comics were giving him a hard time that were older. And I was like, yo, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I was that kid.
Yeah.
And
did they just not like somebody new with a new perspective?
It's not that. I think it's just they don't like different high energy and ambition.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being real, comedians are the most depressed human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
So anyone who comes in fresh and happy with these ideas,
like, fuck that.
Tear it's like, yo,
down.
fuck that dude.
It's like the new guy at work that hasn't been beaten down.
You gotta raise him a little bit.
So for him, he was like, I'm gonna be on SNL at this age. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And everyone tried to shit on him, and I just always supported him, and he's always thanked me and said nothing but great things. I did one of his shows with Zacho Ryan, cool cat. And then there was another gig we did up Cranberry at Comtra.
Yeah.
And he was in town, and he did it set on my headline show. So
how is that venue?
I love it, bro.
Yeah.
It's like doing Shakespeare and shit. Like this.
It is. I've seen pictures. I've seen a couple pictures. Is it like, you'll have to describe it. It's like kind of the stage is in the middle of the room. It looks like.
Yeah. So you're in the middle and everyone's around you. It's like Vicious Circle. Remember the old Dane Cook?
Oh yeah,
comedy special where everybody was around him.
That's cool.
That's what it feels like.
Oh,
so it's pretty cool.
How does that feel versus just the stage? Does it feel like you're more encapsulated in everybody?
Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah, I guess as long as you're doing well.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? Yeah. Nobody wants to sit on stage and bomb. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no,
and that's not the place to bomb because they're looking at you from every angle.
That's what I'm saying. You can't even lean against the wall.
Yeah. I recorded my second comedy album there, Comedy Ghoul. So it's a very dope venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I feel like I see more shows around there. Is that a newer venue? I don't know. I mean, you're not the historian on the Contra, obviously.
No, it's cool. No, it's not a newer venue. It's always been there, but I think they only had comedy within the last probably like 5 years, 6 years, something like that.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a very cool place.
Day and Ed Bailey had brought comedy there first.
Okay.
So it was a big venue for the comics to come in, and it always sold out because people don't want to have to travel into the city. So if they can see
for sure
high level headliners and comedians within their town, they're going to come. And that's always a big deal.
Yeah, that would be huge. I know Chandler from, I work in Beaver. Okay. And I know a lot of people in Beaver and Zelienople and everybody out that way. Kind of, if they could just go to Cranberry instead of having park,
it's so much
find
easier.
places to go. Just everything. Just add $100 to everything if it's going to be downtown.
Right.
Definitely.
Parking to eating to everything.
Yeah, it's just you got to make it. A lot of people that come in town, like whenever I'm at the Improv, you get all these people that come from like the outskirts of the city, and they make it a night. You know what I mean? Like for that, it's like, okay, we got to head back, but we're going to hit the casino. We're going to do this. They make it a night. And sometimes they'll just stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got babysitters, just go ahead and stay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, they're already there. You might as well.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on. I feel like I introduced you, but then we got right into talking. But
we did.
We have Terry Jones on here, musician. Comedian, dad, writer, right? Because I was just reading the article in City Paper.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome. And you wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote that.
That's cool.
Yeah, they edited it, but I wrote it. There's always editors, but it felt special to be chosen for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So did they want to have this story, and they said, okay, we want you to write it, or
the Lisa, who is the main the head editor of the City Paper. She had reached out to me and saw my statuses on social media. You know what I mean? Like Facebook and stuff, like, yo, you're always talking about like how great it is to be a dad and how much it's changed your life and saved you. I would like you to write this personal essay. And so for me, I was like, I would love to. It was something that was completely different than anything I've ever done before. So I felt honored to be able to do it. Now the surprise for me was I didn't know it was a cover story.
Yeah.
So
oh, really? Wow.
that was my third city paper cover, and I didn't, but for something completely different this time. You know what I mean? And I didn't know. I was like, oh snap, you know. And they're like, hey, you can just come with yourself, or if you want to bring your kids. I was like, no, I'm bringing my kids.
Yeah.
So my daughters came with me, and we did that. And, you know, I always put being a dad first. Yeah. Because that's my number one thing. Like, being a dad is the number one thing I care about. Everything else is just whatever. But anything I can do to incorporate my children into what I do, like, you know, throughout entertainment, I've seen a lot of people like use their kids as props. Yeah. Or they use their kids like for other things, but I don't do that. You know, I literally want to incorporate them and make them feel special. And my daughters are that, you know what I mean? Like, for them, they're on the cover of that with their dad. And that was an opportunity. Like, anytime I can mesh opportunities that I get with my children, I do. They're on my comedy album, Afro Bebop. My firstborn is on the cover and when she was little. And then they're on the intro track. And they're with Frizzy, rapper, friend of mine, Emmy Award-winning rapper. He's on the Academy for you know, the Grammys. We just released our single Shucky Ducky.
We were listening to that before you came in.
And so my kids could say, hey, I'm on a track with an Emmy Award-winning rapper.
That's awesome.
You know, like, that's one of their favorite rappers. So like, to be able to let them enjoy these things and always be a part of the process. It means
I completely understand. And honestly, one of the first things that stuck out to you when I wanted you to be on the show is I knew you did comedy, I knew you did music, but I saw that, and I have a 7 and a 5-year-old, and they're normally here running around, and you know, they're my roadies, and they do some, you know, audio tech work.
Oh, sweet!
But it's awesome having them around, and it's not like it's a burden or it's like, oh, they have to be here. It's like, yes, it's not I have to do this, I get to do this. And when you start thinking of things that way, you really appreciate things more, I think.
Yeah, you do. You're right. And that just, you're a good dad. You know what I mean? That's what that is. And regardless of, sometimes
they are in the back closet there. I told them to shut up. Don't speak during the
show. It's important. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's about enjoying the process, the time. Because Chris Rock said, your kids are only young once, but they're old forever. And ever since he said that, like, it stuck with me, because I was like, yo, for real, like, your kids are only young once.
They don't ever get younger.
You know, we just went to the daddy-daughter dance. I can't skip daddy-daughter dances. I can't skip, like, you know, I get offered bookings. I'll be like, yo, if it interferes with my kids, no. You know what I mean? I've seen people, like, push their kids to the side for opportunities, and then it backfires years later because now you've missed out on that time. But
absolutely.
Like, I don't need this gig. Book me the next one.
You
know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
that's so sick.
That's one of those things I think that people get so lost in, and I do too sometimes, and I try not to. It's like I want to get ahead, or I want to do this, and I want to do this, so I can provide for them, so I can give them all these things.
Yes.
But in 5 years, when I'm giving them, like, okay, I just missed 5 years. They're not going to be that age again. I'm not going to have that, and I would pay, all the money to get that time back, but I won't. So you know what? Maybe it's not as important to do that. Do that, and you can do it the week later. Comptra is going to be there.
Even like the type of dad I am is that, like, I'll get booked anywhere, right? So I get booked out of the country, and I make sure my flight is back. I'll stay up. I won't, like, I'll literally get off stage, take a shower, and like, get a ride to the airport. And like, whenever I go to Canada, I always make sure my flights are back by like, I get the 6 a.m. flight, because that's as soon as it opens, 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. flight. And I'm back here by at least 8 or 9 a.m. and I'm able to get them by 10 a.m. Like, I don't play games when it comes to them. So it's one of those things. It's there. You can make the time. It's just, what I end up learning by doing all this is, a lot of the people that were telling me you won't have time because of kids are going to ruin your career. They're going to ruin your life, all that stuff. everyone who ever said that, I realized it was all ego.
Yeah.
It wasn't, they just didn't take the time to, you know, they didn't cut the time themselves because they were so fit on all the other bullshit. Yeah. When in reality, like you said, this time ain't coming back. So what? Okay, I bust my ass, I bust my ass, and then when you're 10 years old and I'm trying to catch up on that time and I'm a millionaire, you're gonna be like, "Fuck you, Dad." You know what I mean?
Exactly. Point, the cement's dried at that point. Yeah, you know, there's no going back.
So you know, I really cherish fatherhood. So that article meant a lot to be able to tell my story and you know, help people, hopefully, you know.
I agree. I urge anybody to go back and read it. It's really good. It's really, you know, personal. You get in there. It's good. So definitely click through and read that.
Appreciate it.
As far as comedy and music go, is it like having 2 kids? Can you not pick, or is it, can you pick?
No, I can't now.
Yeah.
Like when I first started comedy, I was so big into comedy. Like it was just like my thing, and comedy kind of saved my life.
Yeah.
My aunt was a stand-up comic when I was a kid, and then you know, I would watch stand-up comedy, and I think when I was in 10th grade, my dad brought a box set of this was like 2004, 2005. My dad bought a box set of Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And it's all his albums, and I burned them on an MP3 CD player.
Oh,
and, you know, you remember those? Yeah. And it was one CD with every Richard Pryor album, and I would listen to it because I was like going through like some depression as a teenager. Yeah. But back then, you ain't know what that shit was. Nah. You was just like, why am I sad? Like, I didn't know it was fucking depression.
Yeah.
And I would listen to his albums all the time, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this shit.
Yeah.
And I, like, as a teenager in my yearbook, it says I'm gonna be a comedian.
Yeah.
Everything in there. So it was a blessing.
I mean, yeah, that's one of those things you see all the time, I think, is with, like, you know, depressed people and people like that. They definitely use comedy as an outlet. It's like, if I'm doing this, I'm not really thinking about that. And it's
I
like,
can avoid being sad.
Let me act the way I want, but it's not really like, it's really kind of just it's an act.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the danger. It's a drug, right?
Yeah.
It's feeding your ego. You're getting endorphins from making the crowds laugh. Like, you make hundreds upon thousands. Like, then when you start getting bigger stages, you know what I mean? Like, you get a good night when you first start. You got 100 people in a sold out room. You're like, yeah. And then you start getting into the bigger rooms, and it's 450, 500. And then you start getting on the bigger stages where they got to put your face on the damn screen. And that's like 2,000 to 5,000 people.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So it's like you have to make all of them laugh.
Yeah.
And you're doing it, and when they're giving you that energy, you're putting out energy and you're getting some in, but it's not going to last.
Yeah.
Right. Because there were times where I would like go home, and those were the loneliest rides. It's like, damn, like that's gone.
Yeah.
Now I got to wait for the next gig if I don't have one already booked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to hurry up and book a gig so I can get this feeling again and get my name out there again and bust my ass again. And you're doing so much. Comedy ended up becoming like more destructive for me than helpful.
Yeah.
Because I'm a talk shit.
Comedy. We love some good.
Now we're getting ready for it.
Comedy is a very ego-driven business. Entertainment is, but it's different. Like, this is why I like music.
Okay.
My boy has an Emmy. I've known him since like I was 2021 or whatever when we met.
Yeah.
This dude has been grinding out. He's one of the faces of Steve Madden.
Yeah.
Emmy, Academy Award, Guinness World Book Record. He's taking pictures with Nas.
Yeah.
Hopped on the song with me when I said, "Hey, I want to get in the music."
Yeah.
Hopped on my albums. He's on the one track I already did a skit for him like a few years back.
Yeah.
But never gave me a hard time while being on top.
Yeah.
Comedy is the opposite. What I started realizing is it's so ego driven that a lot of your people, like when you start getting bigger and you reach back and help people, then they're cool with it. But then when they start getting bigger, let's say they get a couple steps ahead of you, they don't want to reach back.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, fuck you. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
There's a quote. It's misquoted sometimes as far as like who said it, but the message is still the same. And that quote is, always be nice to the people on your way up because you're gonna run into them again on your way down.
Yeah.
And throughout this business, I've seen people go up and they treat you like they don't know you. Yeah. And then as soon as those motherfuckers get knocked down a few notches, oh, yo, can you hook me up with a venue?
Yeah.
Can you hook me up with a gig? Can you do, can you write? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Oh, now you need me.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you was on top. You didn't need me on the top of the mountain. Now you need me because you on the bottom and my ass is still climbing because I'm keeping my head straight and I'm being a good person. Yeah. And so, for me, music is fun because one, I get to say whatever the fuck I want. Mm-hmm. Comedy, you think you can, but you can't.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's censored because you could get booked for a gig. I've done gigs where I get paid a lot of money, but I'm doing a Catholic church or I'm doing a fucking school or, you know what I mean? Yeah. I got to be clean, so I can't say what I want. I can't be myself. Yeah. I can over-exaggerate and still be talented, but it's not me. Yeah. And then, people want to censor you. And then with black comedy, you might get booked somewhere and they be like, yo, don't say this word, don't say that. We don't want you to talk about this. We don't want you. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. But music, I can say whatever the fuck I want and people are going to eat it up. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, okay, yo, he's talking shit.
Do you see comedy as more of a, what can you do for me?
Yes.
Versus the music? That's
Absolutely.
That's the
kinda
core.
Seems that way.
It is. It is. I mean, music people will say they've been in the game longer, will be like, oh. But I used to host hip hop shows back in the day, like when Mac Miller was coming up and all those cats. I did Mac Miller's mixtape party. I was his hype man when we did a show at Job Corps and I was a terrible hype man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I seen people come up and they were all it was a community. Even when people were beefing with each other, people worked shit out. Yeah. But there was a love and a community. And not saying comedy didn't have that, but there's just a certain way where people start acting where they feel like, yo, I'm better than you, so you got to keep kissing my ass. Yeah. Either keep kissing my ass or do what I want you to do. Yeah. It goes for the agents, the bookers, a lot of these comics. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's no, it's just what they do versus, you got to work in music. You got to work with a producer. You got to go in the studio. You have to work with somebody. If you're in a band, you got to work with a guitar person. The only reason bands break up is usually because somebody's ego is bigger than another. It's all ego. That's the failure of man. Yeah. It's just throughout the history of life, the failure of man has been ego. So I do think it's easier. Yeah. And that's why I appreciate it more. Cause it's okay, let me go do this. Now I do love doing my live shows. Don't get, when I headline and I'm headlining and I could say whatever the fuck I want and I go out there and the crowd is just dying and that's my shit. But if I gotta kiss somebody's ass I'm not that guy. Yeah. That's the reason why it's always been harder for me to get shit because I wasn't kissing people's ass. It's not about talent. I've been blessed. Yeah. Been on TV, been on radio, done this, done that. But as soon as you start doing what you want to do and you're not doing what the controlled want you to do, then
well, that's what you were getting at from the beginning with Kevin, right? Yeah, it was different, and we don't like different.
No, they don't. They
because
don't
that. Sorry, not to interrupt, but when you bring something new and it's the same status quo and the same people, there's a stagnation where you bring something in, and now I have to step my game up. Now I have to be better. And do you think there's some resentment? Now I have to change my act up a little bit because there's a new thing, and now.
No, it's
you see stuff with TikTok and stuff now. People change and tweak that, and you see. I don't like TikTok comedy because I feel like it's real fast, in your face, here you go. I like kind of a setup, a punchline that you thought out and delivered, and it doesn't work. I mean, that's just me. Yeah. It's different. That's cool. But
I mean, there's a lot of comics who get really upset at the TikToks and they got mad at the Vine guys and the YouTube because all those guys are big and millionaires now, right? But there's no soul in a lot of their work. Yeah. So you kind of have to make a decision. Is it popularity or success? Which one do you want? Yeah. Because I've seen people fall off that grace too. Yeah, you get TikTok popular and you get famous, but that only lasts so long. Yeah. If you're not building your brand and your skills, then you don't make it. Right. I've seen people blow up, they get tours and they only have 5 minutes of material and then they're trying to force these people to headline. Yeah. If you read Charlie Murphy's book, Charlie Murphy, I mean, if we want to consider something viral, Chappelle's show was viral before the internet craze and all that shit, right? Yeah, yeah. So Charlie Murphy said that his stories were funny and everyone loved them so much that when they did a tour, it was like him, Bill Burr, and Ashley Larry. I can't say his name right now, but I worked with him before. Donnell Rollins, I'm sorry. But Donnell and when they were all touring together, Charlie would headline because people were coming to see Charlie.
Yeah.
Because they loved the Prince skit, they loved the Rick James, and he was like, "Yo, I don't have the material to do this shit." Yeah. And they're like, "Don't worry about it, you'll learn." Yeah. But he was selling out every show, and I used to go to some of those shows, and let me tell you, people walked out. He would sell out, and they would walk out, and then there would be like 30 people left in a room that just sat 500.
Yeah.
So it wasn't his fault. It's just the industry knows that they could leech off of you. They're vampires. So it's like, even in music, let's get what we can out of this person.
Right.
Chappelle read the Iceberg Slim about the hooker and the pimp. Like, I know how many mouths I could get out of this person. They know how many mouths they could get out of you.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So they're like, oh, now like when we're talking about like Bucky and stuff like that, Bucky was, he was just happy.
Yeah.
He was literally just a happy, ambitious kid.
Yeah.
And cats came at him. And people did the same to me.
His soul wasn't crushed.
Yeah, it wasn't crushed yet. And as soon as you start becoming the bitter, depressed, this, I can control you, let me control you, then everybody want to love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I feel like just in life in general, when you like try to be happy for other people, like it pays off for you personally. I'm saying like from me, just like cosmically, I feel like when I try to help people out, and I'm not like looking for anything, but like I feel like at the end of the day, things usually work out in the ledger, like helping me out, trying to do that. And like I don't get people like that when you see new people, and I guess it is an ego, and like you don't want to be, the spotlight shine on them and not you, but like I don't know. At the end of the day, you're still a human being. I feel like you should treat people like a human. But
never be
that's
a
not
dick
the way it is.
First.
yes. Yes.
Never be a dick first.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, honestly, man, the one thing I will say is I've been blessed because even with a lot of the shit I dealt with from people that I feel like betrayed me or did some wrong shit, especially within comedy. Yeah. I know that I have my receipts. Yeah. And that I was a good person. Yeah. Can't nobody say, yo, you was a dick. Yeah. Or you was an asshole, or you did this, or you fucked us out of a deal or whatever. Yeah, I was building tons of opportunities and projects and shit for people. Yeah. Like,
and this is just a side story. Yeah. I posted last week I posted the wrong date. And he texted me right away. He was like, "Did I mess that up?" Like, he's like, I would never do that. And I was like, "No, that's 110% my fault. I posted the wrong thing." But he was like right on it. From the, just knowing you for a little bit, you're a total pro.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So I'll throw that out there.
Ball, man. Yeah, appreciate it. But that's how I am. Yeah. Like, I always look out. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, that person or like big shotting or whatever people want to call it. Yeah. Like, I was like, yo, did I legit miss this? Because my schedule's so crazy between raising my daughters and doing everything else. I'm like, yo, like I know this was in my calendar because I was like the 14th and then the 15th we have a dentist appointment for the kids. You know what I mean? I got to take them 2 a.m. Yeah. So I was just like, oh shit. But man, it's a weird game, man. Like, comedy I love comedy. Don't get me wrong. I still love it. But I have this, it's just wild. You know what I mean? Like, you have to build what you guys are doing right now. This is it. Yeah. You have to build your own to the point where they need you. You don't need them. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, you want people to beg. You want people to beg to come on here. Yeah. You don't want to beg people to come on.
No doubt, man.
And when you get that, you're building your brand and you're protecting yourself. Instead of other people using you and trying to do what they want with you. Yeah. Like, I've been on a big podcast where, we had a podcast with Levity. They owned all the improvs and stuff. They're LEG now. And been on radio and different things. But it's like, when you're doing that, somebody owns you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they want you to do whatever versus you owning your own shit. And that's why I tell people, own your own shit. Like, it's important to...
It's going to be a longer grind, but it's worth it, I think. It's a longer grind. At least that's what we're hoping.
We got our fingers and toes crossed over here.
think about it. You own your own shit though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you own it, it's better.
Yeah.
Versus.
Well, yeah, you can do whatever you want and kind of get shit done the way you want to get it done. I feel like as long as you just got to put in 100%. Like,
you do. You have to have a motor at the same time.
Yeah, and if you don't, like, I don't know. I like you said, like, I just put in the work, and I feel like things tend to, like, kind of fall into place.
Yeah, but you do. That's huge, though. Like, and we've been saying this from the beginning. Like, maybe whatever happens, but you have to, like, you can't succeed if you don't put something on the table out there. Yeah, you gotta do it before it could be good or bad, and then you go from there. Yeah. But and I was kind of like that younger. I remember that in high school. Like, okay, well, maybe if I don't put my full effort into this, then whatever. When I get a C, then I can just say, I put a C into it. If you put your effort into it and then get a C, it's like, well, what did I do? Yeah. So maybe it is like, okay. So there's like some, if you're gonna do it on your own, you have to put it all in. Yeah. But it's
you got it takes a lot of time. Like you have to put in so much time that people still want your brand, even if you go missing for a couple months. Yeah. Like you want them to be reaching
where
out.
did they go?
Like, where are you? Like, can I book you for this, or can we do this?
Yeah.
You kind of want them to do that, but I don't know. I feel like stand-up comedy kind of is dying off a little bit too, because there's no TV shows like there used to be for stand-up comics. Yeah. You used to get comedy specials and then a sitcom. Like there was a formula to follow. Yeah. I used to go in, like I'm 35, but when I started so young that I had to do what all the OGs were doing. Yeah. So I had to go to comedy clubs and audition at noon. I had to drive all the way just to get a spot, to get a guest spot on the open mic, just to see if I do good there, to host the open mic, just to see if I do good there, to get a whole week. Yeah. Like it was, you had to really put in the effort. You had to send out DVDs and tapes and headshots and shit. Now the internet has changed the game. Yeah. Like the internet helped me because I was coming in at the time the internet was growing, but it's like, it's a new world now. People love stand-up comedy. They still want to go to it, but like the art itself isn't what it used to be. You can't just be a stand-up comic anymore. You have to build a brand enough to where people want to come see you. Yeah. And it wasn't always like that. It used to be the clubs and the venues would put in the work, and you could just be a stand-up comic, and then eventually you'll get your sitcoms, movies, specials like that. Now you're better off just making your own fucking comedy special and posting it on fucking Facebook or something. Yeah. And you might get more
attention.
I was
gonna say that.
Than anything.
It seems like that's the way it's going. It's like more independent. You see that like cable seems to be a thing of the past. There's all the independent streaming things. Yeah. They're gonna do that with probably comedy if you get it on Prime or whatever. It seems to be like it is like you got to build your own brand, build yourself up, and then kind of like open, sell yourself to these things, try to get yourself in and like, freelance work kind of. For
sure, man. The originality is a lot different too now. It's not like what it used to be. And everyone blames PC culture, but it's not PC culture. It's just some people just ain't being funny. They're just saying dumb shit. Yeah. If you say something funny and you say some shit while it's funny, people won't get mad at you. Like everyone's like, Richard Pryor today couldn't. I'm like, if you really go back and listen to Richard Pryor, it was dirty, but it wasn't really that dirty. It was just, he cursed. Yeah. But he said some real shit to go with the humor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like now people are just going up and trying to be.
Well, they're trying to say something for like shock factor. Like,
instead of.
You see that like, I'm going to get canceled. Like, okay. Are you?
Yeah. Especially like the older dudes that been doing it for years. Now all of a sudden they want to get canceled. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I guess.
I think people say that just so they're like, well, the next thing I'm going to say is edgy, so you better listen.
Yeah. They want you to come to the show.
Stupid. It's like,
it's not even funny.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Be funny.
Be funny, not be edgy or whatever. Like funny is the most important.
Yes.
Then
if
go
you're
from there.
edgy and you're funny and it's actually funny, that's whatever.
But if you're edgy and you're not funny, you're just you're a tyrant. Dick. Yeah.
You're just trash.
There's no room for that,
bruh. And some of these people they can't even write. Yeah. Like those people I've written for so many people in this city.
I'm interested to know about that.
But it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, I've seen people steal so many fucking jokes. Bro,
I'm interested in this.
Listen, I seen
Jiminy Glick.
I don't even give a fuck who hits me up. I saw four different comics used the same fucking closer word for word.
Oh no.
4.
Do they know that they're
At the same place?
Yes.
Why they do that?
Because they're fucking trash. They
come with your own shit,
bro.
I would rather come up with a 6 on my own than a 9 that killed,
bro.
Because
Bro,
I would know that.
That's what I'm
Thank
saying.
you, bro. I've seen, and it be like it's like premier guys, bro.
Yeah.
It's like people that get booked a lot.
Yeah.
And they got stolen jokes, and I ain't gonna put y'all on blast on what jokes y'all are. Y'all know who y'all are if you're watching. It is what it is. Hit me up if you got a problem. But the truth of the matter is that there's not that much originality like there used to be. Yeah. And that's why people get mad at somebody like Bucky or Joey Purse or these young dudes who are coming up and doing whatever the fuck they want and actually making moves and making laughs.
Well, Joey's doing all his stuff on his own too. He's making his own brand.
Listen, that's another dude. Let's put it on blast, bro. Listen,
they've both been on here. They're both
Joey. I love Joey.
Yeah,
Joey was another young dude that I saw, and I said, "Do what you want." Keep going. Yeah. Just don't give up. Keep going. And I would talk to him and I school him and I would hang. Yeah. And he later told me like, yo, thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I see like some of the same people that was talking shit on him saying that he wouldn't make it now under his shit, like trying to hype him up.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, y'all told this dude the same way they told Bucky. They just don't like the young guys who are coming in because they feel threatened or they just want to crush you before, because they know when you're good.
Yeah.
People know when you have potential, right? Relationships happen because of potential a lot of times. Like, oh, you have the potential of being a wife.
Yeah.
You have the potential of being a husband.
Right. Yeah.
So they know you have the potential of being a superstar, and they can't handle it. So it's like, let me crush this person.
Yeah, so they stop trying.
Well, I can.
If I can't be a superstar, nobody can.
Yeah.
You see that in like
such toxic shit.
And then like it makes you think too, man. Like all these people be stealing shit, and it's like, yo, I wonder if these motherfuckers be using some of my shit on the road.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I was in Ohio and I saw a dude using the same joke as another comic here.
Yeah.
And they both used them as closers. And that's 2 fucking different states.
That's like that. There's like that old story where it's like if you caught your cashier stealing, would you fire him or whatever? It's like it's the first time you caught them stealing. Like, it's probably something like that. Like just because you saw it, they probably, Larry Jones is killing it in Ohio.
Yeah, right. and I've witnessed it. I've seen it. You call people out on it, and you know what I mean. But like sometimes it ain't even worth calling them out.
Yeah.
Like you just keep it with it, whatever it is, and then you just be like, all right, whatever. You just like as long as I'm not doing it, and I'm doing my shit, and I'm making an original. Yeah. And I think it was one of my OGs. Was it who told me it? Was it Kren or Kren either told me or John Knight? One of them told me that they heard a quote, and I think it was like either from Carlin or someone. Yeah. You got to write them faster than they can steal it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So when you're actually talented, you can create, and you're in tune with the universe, God's going to give you the material. You don't have to take the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, it's like comedy is a weird business, and I've been in it for a long time, and it's more so like about kissing ass and doing what people want you to, and you can't do anything outside of that.
Yeah, that blows. Yeah, it's sad to hear that, but I guess that's the way of the world. That's how any business is, really.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it is, but I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing it. Yeah. I'm just putting it out there that I see the shady stuff. I know what it is. Like, people know each other. Like, comedy has so many comedians, but the comedy world is so small. Yeah. Like, you can go to LA and you know somebody. Y'all both know a cat in Chicago who worked with the same dude that opened for you in Toronto, who worked with the same dude in Miami. Yeah. Like, it's not, there's all these 6 degrees to whoever. Mm-hmm. So it's a really odd situation. Actually, Frank Nicotero. That's Greg Nicotero's cousin, right? From Walking Dead, directed Walking Dead.
I didn't know that was his cousin.
Yeah, that's his cousin, right? They're from Pittsburgh. So
he was on the. Do you remember the show Street Smarts?
Yeah, he's the host of Street Smarts. So
that show was the best. I loved that when I was
dope.
like homesick from school in like '98.
Get to watch Street Smarts. Yeah. Nicotero was doing the warm-ups for America's Got Talent. Okay. He's doing them. I'm just let y'all know how this goes. He's doing this bit. He's killing, doing the warm-ups, whatever. So he gets off. They bring the next audition up. They're filming, cameras rolling, how they do. It's all like bullshit and produced the hell out of it. You know how they do. Yeah. And next guy comes up, kills. Yeah. Murders. Everybody's doing, even Simon, doing. Everybody's all happy, right? So everyone's like, this is a great joke. You killed with that last joke. You killed. Yeah. So it gets down to Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel goes, did you write that? He goes, yeah, I wrote that. That's my closer. He's like, are you sure? Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's my closer. He goes, I feel like I heard that before. Yeah. Okay. Well, Nicotero snapping in the back because it's his fucking closer that he's used for years. Shit. That is a genius closer at that. Yeah. Okay. So this dude in Texas stole his bit, which he lives in LA, and fate has it that they both fucking land on America's Got Talent where he's warming up. So I guess he says something to the guy, and the guy's a dick, and he's like, well, I'm on TV, and you're doing the warm-ups, right? Yeah. And Howie comes back and goes, what's going on back here? And he's like, yo, he stole my fucking bit. Yeah. And Howie's like, I knew that's where it came from.
It's before every show we've ever done.
Like, so that's just like the lessons that you have. Like, you know what I mean? I love these young dudes who are using everything to build their brand so that when you do go to the show, I always just tell like guys that are doing it, like Bucky and Joey Person, these young dudes who are killing on TikTok. Yeah. Like, as long as your material is straight, when those people come, that makes the experience 40 times better. Because when you saw Eddie Murphy on SNL, when you saw him in a comedy club and he killed, it made the experience feel so much better. So you just always want to have that dope material where
you don't want the Charlie Murphy.
You don't want, you don't. And Charlie grew into a stand-up comic later.
He got set up for failure that way, though.
He did, but that's what the agencies do. Yeah. You know, there's these people who have won all these TV shows for stand-up, Last Comic Standing and all that shit. Yeah. And again, 5 minutes of material, we're going to headline you in Manhattan. Yeah. For what? Yeah. And then they get off stage in 15 minutes. Like,
I couldn't imagine the comic would even want that. I mean, maybe some do because they don't see it, but like, if you're not ready for it, like that could just destroy your career too.
Okay, you got 5 minutes of material. 5 minutes. Yeah. You got 5 minutes of material. I need you to do 45 minutes. Yeah. But I'm going to give you $30,000 to perform at our college because the top tier headliners, they get like 30, 60, 70, 80,000. Your whole tuition. Yeah. Your one student's whole tuition is going in that one comic's paycheck just to make some kids laugh. Yeah. So are you going to say no?
Oh no, I understand it, but like,
you get what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, the business is set up for that. But it is. Let's get the money out of here and then get by.
Yeah, they do the same thing with music, especially like the rappers. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's make this kid famous for absolutely not good shit. Yeah. And then his like music's terrible, but we're gonna make him so big and make you think that he's good and continue to stuff him down your throat. We're gonna feature him in every song. We're gonna make him until he eventually grows into a good artist. But it wasn't like that. There used to be artist development. Same way with the comedy clubs. You would go and a comedy club and Carlin would walk in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you will go in a comedy club and you might have to follow one of the biggest headliners. Yeah. I remember, I saw that many times. I had to follow big people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you just have to do it. And you need to be prepared for it. But that used to make the shows exciting. Yeah. Oh, who the hell is this dude that could keep up with so and so?
Right. Yeah. If you want to be the best, you gotta be
ready for the best. And I've seen people fold under pressure, but I've also seen people kill under pressure. Yeah. And that's how I got a lot of the opportunities I did, was because okay, you know, I'm showing them, yo, he's able to follow this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This
That's how you make a diamond, right? With all that pressure.
You have to, exactly. So, you know, it's an interesting game.
Yeah.
But,
I would ask you what do you have looking forward in your near future, music wise, comedy wise, and then I want to ask you a movie question.
Sure.
We always ask.
I have to.
What? Let's see. Comedy. I wanna be done with comedy.
Yeah.
After this year, we'll see what happens.
Just a bad taste in your mouth.
I'm just like, I want to focus on some other things.
Just over it, yeah.
But it's not a bad over it. It's more so like, I know a lot of
just
people,
ready to move on.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh man, like no, please no," and I'm like, "No, I like."
That's a good thing. You don't want them to be like, "Good call."
It is a good thing.
Should have wrapped that up 3 months ago.
It's good that people are upset that I don't want to, but it's more so like I've outgrown the need of the like ego part of it.
Yeah.
Like I've grown so much as my kids have changed my life.
Yeah.
My like life is like, I understand there's more importance to life than telling dick jokes and getting 500 laughs or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's cool, but you know what I mean?
Cool,
and
but
I want to control my own shit. Like I'm tired of, you know, having to, like I dealt with a lot of racism in this business throughout, like since I started.
Like direct or indirect, like
Oh,
not
both,
putting
bro.
you on.
Both, bro, like I sat in corporate boardrooms where like program directors are saying racist ass shit. And motherfuckers like, I'm like, yo, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah.
I know I'm the only motherfucker here.
Right.
It's my color, but I'm here. Like shit. So
I can hear.
Dealt with like a lot of racism from like bookers. Yeah. You know, like I would see cats get booked for like headline shit. I'm like, yo, my resume, like I've actually been on TV. I've actually done these things. Like I have a resume and credits. I built all this shit, and you're still gonna give me a hard time about headlining. Yeah. And you know I can do it.
Yeah.
But you just won't. So
that's what I was gonna get at earlier. It's like blows my mind that a club, a business would be like, we want them. We know this guy can kill, but we're still gonna go this way because that's the way we are.
Oh yeah, and bro, I'll tell you. Listen, my first album recording is not a secret. Our first album recording, I had 400 people coming to the Improv. 400. Okay, 400. They printed another comedian on the poster, another black dude with the last name Jones. It wasn't me.
Oh, they got your fucking name
wrong. They put Clark Jones on there. No, they put Terry Jones, but it was Clark Jones's picture.
Oh my
God, what the fuck?
Yes, and on top of that, I had a sold out show for my first album recording. I was excited about it. I just got fired off radio. Yeah. Like I was like, yo, I need this.
Yeah.
Had a door deal set. So I would have got paid.
Yeah.
Okay. John Lovitz. Yes.
I love this story already.
John Lovitz decides, I don't want to do Sunday. I want his Thursday. That was sold tickets for weeks. Yeah. Already set for weeks.
For Sunday.
For Thursday.
Oh, yeah. For Thursday.
He wanted my Thursday. Because I set a Thursday. He was there that weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. They go, oh, okay, well, he wants your Thursday. They change it. They don't fight for me, nothing. I reached out to the highest people that I knew from years of doing comedy and working out, and they said that particular agency does not take no for an answer because he's with a big agency. There was nothing I could do. So I had to split my show into 2 nights, a Sunday and Thursday. It did not benefit me. I had to pay for 2 different recordings. I lost 100 crowd members. So like 250 came on it's like 250 came on Sunday.
That's such a different vibe.
It was, and 100 was on Thursday. I still had to record. And here's John Lovitz had 30 fucking people there Thursday.
Sunday night would have been 40 minutes of John Lovitz talk.
Yes. So imagine like shit, like you got to deal with shit like that. And on top of that, those 30 people, so you, instead of 400 people buying food, drinks, tickets, having a good time, you rather have 30 people because of seniority. Yeah. That's not even good fucking business.
Bad business.
It's bad business. So like it's shit like that I was like, oh, okay, let me go on music and talk my shit.
Plus, which one is in the city? Like, it's the Pittsburgh Improv?
Yeah.
So, like, which one are we probably going to rebook, maybe?
Yeah.
Ideally, in the next couple months. And which one maybe we'll see again. Maybe he won't ever come back.
Yeah. Exactly. So, it was, shit like that. So, for me, I want to knock out as many, like, headline shows as possible. My last 2 comedy albums I had recorded in Canada. Yeah. So I'm going to try and go back up there because the pandemic has fucked up shit. Yeah. Because of COVID. It has. Because of COVID, they had to go like 50% in Canada as far as like bringing people in. Right. So I'm waiting for them to get back to that 100%. And I want to do I have a EP coming out musically. A new single coming out in the next few months, JTB.
Okay.
And I want to drop a comedy special by the end of the year. Okay. If I can do it.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be recorded this year, but it'll come out
okay. Nice.
First quarter of 2023.
Do you have a lot of the stuff material?
Yeah. I mean, I could write that.
Did you have stuff
like
in mind for it?
Yeah. But there's other stuff that like I can add to it. Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I do want to do that independently. So I'll probably do like a crowdfund work something out. Ideally, I want to get like a big amount of money because I want it to be big. Yeah. So that the quality's good on like screen. You know what I mean? Like, look at how you guys are running this podcast. Yeah. You ain't just got one camera.
No. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's find out.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just one dusty ass camera just pointing at someone. So, you guys are putting quality in it. So I want to be able to put quality in a nice venue with a lot of cameras. If not, here's the part where I'm debating. Do I want to record it here in the US or do I want to go back up to Canada and record it? Yeah. So I'm like figuring that part out. But the EP will be out hopefully like August, September.
Well, we'll definitely keep our eye out for it. And with whatever comedy stuff you do, let us know. We'll be glad to talk about it.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, we love how it was awesome talking to you. And we still have that other question. So I ask everybody when they come on who their least favorite movie character is. And we're interested to hear who you're going to go with.
My least favorite movie character.
So, like, we have people like, I hate Jenny from Forrest Gump. I hate Grandpa Joe
Rose from the fucking
Willy Wonka. Yeah, he hates Rose. I hate Short Round from Indiana Jones. There's a lot of people.
Bruh, I hate all the people that was in the fucking. I hate fucking. There's 2. It's kind of sad. It's sad.
Oh, we got time.
Bruh, go. I fucking hate Mufasa, son.
Oh wow!
Mufasa is a piece of shit.
Where's Dun Dun Dun?
That's what I'm looking for. I should have had it queued up. Shit.
Yo, I know
work
it's a hot take.
Post.
It's a hot take, but Mufasa is a fucking tyrant, son. Yes. Fuck Mufasa. And listen,
yes.
Mufasa told all the animals, yo, come watch my son be born, and this is the same motherfucker that's gonna eat all of you. But I want you to celebrate the shit out of this motherfucker being born, because it's the circle of life. Yeah. So you got Elton John singing this shit in the background while you fucking trying
to pay homage to the beast that's gonna murder your child.
Yeah, he gonna kill all your fucking kids. He gonna kill you, and then he gonna rule your kids because I'm a fucking tyrant. Yeah. Okay, and he's a fucking tyrant, and he got Rasputin and shit. Yeah. The fucking monkey is his Rasputin. Fucking going around doing magic and shit and bullshitting people.
That's the third verse in Circle of Life. Not a lot of people know that.
And then like, okay, so the hyenas is black people. They're all exiled from
they have Whoopi Goldberg and Cheech Marin, right?
And Bobcat Goldthwait.
What a crew.
Ayo.
What a party that would be, though.
They segregated the hyenas from everybody.
I like that Bobcat got thrown in there.
Right? And then Scar, they had to have a light skinned dude rule everybody because Scar was brown skinned.
He was, and he's a brother.
Had a dark skinned dude
weird.
rule in the country. Yeah, So Scar is sitting there with his scar on his face and shit like, yo, Mufasa, you're my brother. What the fuck? And he's like, you ain't really my brother, right?
Yeah.
So then he fucked him up, killed him. And then his dusty ass
Spoiler alert. It came out 30 years ago.
I cried in the theaters like a little bitch, right?
And how could you not?
And then fucking Simba runs off and gets raised by a fucking meerkat and a pig.
What a hell of a movie, man.
And then
Shit's crazy.
And then Scar's like, yo, I'm gonna rule this. I'm gonna rule everything, right? Everyone blames the drought on Scar. Never in the movie does it show that the hyenas and Scar are the reason for the drought. It is fucking nature.
Mother Nature, man.
It is nature.
Yeah, man.
Oh, well, they used all the supplies. No, they didn't. They was hungry as hell.
They're out in the Serengeti, man.
Look, this shit's so fire that he dropped his microphone. and the other one.
Close up view on Cheech dropping the mic.
And
fell right out.
The other one is kind of like hand in hand because it has James Earl Jones too. Is fuck everybody that's opposed to Darth Vader because Darth Vader is a victim.
Okay.
Fuck the Jedi.
Yeah.
I hate the Jedi. They're a bunch of punk ass motherfuckers.
And it is all James Earl Jones.
It's all James Earl Jones, bro. He's always and the wild thing about like Darth
I hate
Vader,
the old Bell Atlantic commercials,
right?
Or whatever. Is that him?
Verizon local wireless.
Yeah, but you know, like I always hated that.
It might
shit.
not even be him.
No, it is him. It is.
Yeah.
You're not being racist this time, bro. It is actually.
It's not Dennis Haybird or whatever.
Yeah, it ain't that situation. Or as Kanye called him, a fake Denzel.
I meant more like Bell Atlantic because that hasn't been around for what, 30 years or 20 years? Yeah.
But yeah, Darth Vader was a victim too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then Obi-Wan was like, yo, I got the higher ground. And he lied. He really didn't. He just wanted him to jump over him, so he cut his legs off. And then he gonna burn this dude and look him in his face and be like, I loved you. And all Anakin needed the whole series. First of all, he was a slave kid.
Yeah.
They kidnapped the slave kid and said, yo, why don't you come work for us and learn this shit?
He's a victim of his environment, is what you're saying.
He was an orphan. He's a little dusty ass orphan. Then R2-D2's letting his little ass drive a plane and shit in space. Yeah. And he's the real like villain of the whole series.
R2-D2.
Oh my god. R2-D2.
I'm glad someone finally had the balls to say it.
R2-D2's a piece of shit. Listen, this dude knew Anakin was Darth Vader. Okay, he made him do all the bad shit that got him fucked up, and then kept it a secret. And then they're like, oh shit, send this message. And he's like, oh shit, I know who this is. And then he goes to his son and goes, yo, fuck him up. And then he comes back in the next 3 movies.
There
and
you
he goes,
go.
I ain't telling y'all shit.
That was the whole Star Wars synopsis right there in 2 minutes.
Fuck the Jedi.
Fuck R2-D2.
Fuck Mufasa. Fuck the Pratt lands.
Oh wow, that's still one of my favorite.
Scar.
One of my favorite memes I've ever seen is that area is over there is McKeesport. We don't go there.
We don't. Yeah, man, it is, bro. McKeesport is. And that's
an elephant graveyard.
Oh, it is, bro. And that's all the people, that's all the people up there on top looking down on them. Yeah, but it's good times.
Those were great answers.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased by that because some people come in and they're like, well, I don't like, whatever. And that's fine. But those were thought out. And
I really appreciate
and there were great
arguments.
reasoning.
Yeah. There's nothing that you can like be like, that's fucked up. Like, that's wrong. That's rock solid.
Like,
it seems like it wasn't something you just thought about. It seems like you have this burning hate for Mufasa.
And R2-D2, man.
People get so pissed off at me, bro. And whenever I'm like, yo, Darth Vader just needed a hug. They be like, fuck you. They be like, he killed kids. And I'm like, he didn't want them kids to turn out like him. Raised by these fake ass dudes with lightsabers that look like white Jesus. Just running around in robes and shit talking about magic. And then fuck Yoda, because Yoda didn't even have his force powers anymore, and he's lying and shit telling them, oh yeah, I think that this dude's a bad guy. So they're like, oh yeah, he's a fucking bad guy. Fuck Yoda. And then Yoda, when shit got real, he disappeared onto a whole nother planet until Luke found him. And then he's like, oh, fuck this, I'm dying. Like, fuck your questions.
I can't believe you found me. It's the only other way.
He's like, shit, somebody knows that I'm a piece of shit. Let me die.
I'm glad somebody finally caught him.
Hey,
there we go.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bravo. That might be the most spirited take on that. That's the new bar, boys and girls. Anyone listening, come prepared like that.
Prepared. We need,
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Yeah.
Be prepared.
There goes the mic.
There we go. That's full circle.
Oh, see, man,
full
that's
circle
what
of life. I'm just going to kill it with Lion King puns for the next. But Terry, thank you so much for coming in. This was
man,
awesome.
No, thanks for having me.
Tell everyone one more time where we can find all your stuff.
Yo, add me on Pandora Radio. I don't know too many people that use Pandora anymore, but Pandora Radio, Terry Jones Radio, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music. I have my comedy albums on there, all 4. Limbo Negro, Comedy Gold, Afro Bebop, Limbo Negro 2, Redemption. I have my singles out, Room Full, with Savvy, who's a hot new artist from Cashville, Tennessee.
Is that where Young Buck was from?
Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, I knew his dad when I lived in Alabama, and he's like growing up to become this like hot new rapper down south.
Oh, yeah.
And Mace Tomlin, Mike Tomlin's son, Mace, who does my beats, and he's a rapper as well. Mace is unreal. So check him out, Mace Tomlin and Savvy. Our single Roomful's out. I have my single This Is My Statement, Sounding Like Chaplin out, and my new single with Frizzy, Shucky Ducky. Is which is
that shit out.
Homage to the legend himself, the legendary comedian Shucky Ducky. So check that out. And you can add me on Instagram, T Jones POC, YouTube, T Jones POC.
I'm gonna let you finish. Cheech, tell them about the video you found on YouTube of Shucky Ducky. What is it? 2 hours long?
Oh, it's a 2 hour loop. It's a 2 hour loop. I was sitting on the couch this morning looking shit up. And I came across that and I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
I scrolled through the entire thing. It was just like, it's just this over and over and over and over. And I was like, dude, this is fucking hilarious.
Oh, bro, I love it. I watched it, bro, and it's just Shucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Yeah, I sent it to Chris.
He said, "You think I'm lying? Shucky Ducky Quack Quack." It's the greatest shit ever. But
I watched it for like 12 minutes. Like.
Yeah, you just
I'm just like it's like
you just can't look away.
It's like the same 12-second thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Nothing different. It's just on a loop for 2 hours.
And that's
Great
why
shit.
That's why I did the song. I was like, yo, this is catchy, man. Like,
so fucking sick.
You know what I mean?
Hell
It's Shucky Ducky throughout the whole song. We did actually have comedian Shucky Ducky like that clip on the beginning from Def Comedy Jam, but Def Jam was like, no,
you can't do that.
It's gonna cost you like 10 grand. I said, fuck you, I got kids.
Yeah.
So,
too many Shucky Buckies.
Shucky Bucky.
That's dumb. Let's wrap that up. We'll cut that up.
Shucky Bucky back.
We'll take that out.
But this was awesome, Terry. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I will put all your info in our bio or all that stuff. I don't know the way to word it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you for everybody watching and anybody that's watching.
Yes, thank you
because of me.
Yes,
and
thank you
to anybody that wasn't happy about what I said. Fuck you and have a good night.
If R2D2's out there watching, you specifically, but thank you, Terry. Cheech, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's safe to wrap it up.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show to catch the latest episodes and share with your friends. We can't promise not to embarrass you. And if you just can't get enough, follow us on Instagram at Poor Man's Podcast 412, Twitter at Poor Man's Pod 412, and Facebook. This is Pittsburgh's own Poor Man's Podcast signing off. See you next week.
Woo! Woo! Ric Flair woo?
Yeah.
The GOAT?